What's up, you guys? Episode number 18 of the Chaz Way podcast. What's up? My name is Chaz Foster. Hashtag the Chaz Way, where we stand for three things of great value. One is it's so important for you to know that you are so incredibly worthy. For two, I want you to know that I'm right by your side no matter what. Locking arms with you. You want to run, I'll run. You want to walk, I will run. I will still walk, And I completely 100% am with you, whether it's to lose weight, gain energy, gain muscle, make an extra couple $100 a month, or make career level income. Whatever it is that you want to do, just know that I truly promise you I'm here to lock arms with you, whatever that looks like, even if you just need a friend. And lastly, just know that I believe God has created us to do extraordinary things. And I think you can take your life from ordinary to extraordinary. And the way to do that is for you to see the value, for you to remove fear, live in faith, stand in faith, walk in faith, and just move forward with all the huge, amazing blessings and great things that God has given you. I am joined by my incredible girlfriend this week. If you're watching, hi. If you're listening, hello. And I want you guys to know that episode number 18 is, first of all, it's going to be awesome. We're going to talk to, what's the title?
Moving on.
Moving on. I'm moving on. Rascal Flatts song.
I'm moving on, and last I can see.
I was impatiently waiting for me, and I know. That's all. So if you're listening, I just want you guys to know that, so first of all, episode 18 is going to be called Moving On, and we'll explain why in just a second. But I am joined by Anna. We are in Oklahoma, spent the whole weekend in Texas. We'll explain all of those things in just a minute. But first, quick housekeeping. I want you to know that if you're watching, this is absolutely a rubber band on this microphone. Okay? Well, normally you don't see a microphone with a rubber band on it. And so I just want to make sure that the viewers know this is, they're like, what in Sam Henry is that? It is completely a rubber band. And secondly, like, comment, review, share, all the things, subscribe. And if you want to take a screenshot of this and tag us, even us on social media, I'll give away some real live cash money. Cash money, baby. So that's for you. So I have Anna here with me. We're sharing a microphone. One thing we don't share is ice cream. And I bring that up only because this kind of looks like an ice cream cone right now.
We
and
do share ice cream.
Well, we don't share an ice cream. We share ice cream plural.
Yeah, like we share bites and we give each other tastes of each other's ice cream.
For sure. Like, we don't get an ice cream and share it with two spoons.
We should.
We should. Or we should just not eat ice cream.
No, well, let's not get crazy.
Okay, true story.
I love language, after all.
Right. True. It's interesting. My love language is is avocados. What did I tell the lady today? What restaurant we were at? Texas. And she offered something, and I said it was my love language. Not sweet potatoes. I don't know. Remember? And I was like, that's my love language. Some food. Weird. Today at the burger place. Top Daddy? Pop Daddy? Hop Daddies.
No, it's D-O-D.
Hop Daddies. Look it up, Anna Marie Martina, and then you tell me. I'm moving on. Last I can see, I have been patient. We have been. Hop Dottie.
Well, Hop Dottie.
Well, a Hop Dottie. That's a different one. That's the one in San Antonio. That's a different company.
Nope, it's not.
No, it is.
Nope, it's not.
Okay, my bad. All right, well, anyways, we're at Hop Dottie's.
Burger Bar.
We're at Hop Dottie's Burger Bar in America.
Remember this. I'm always right.
She is often right. She is absolutely not always right. But, hey, okay, so here is why Anna is with me. How do I turn this, just mark this red? Okay. We are going to talk about, so this title is Moving On, as we said, episode number 18, and the reason is because we're going to recap our incredible weekend in Texas. First of all, shout out to all of our, team, our friends from our organization. We got to meet some of our, super cool friends. We spent the whole weekend with Xandra. She's super cool.
I love Xandra.
Awesome vibes, faith-based, fun, good sense of humor.
Yeah, I can't wait to continue connecting with her. She's great.
For sure. And then we got to hang out with Jessie Lee. So that was cool. She is just as real and kind.
Brittany and Sydney. Yep. Brittany and Sydney.
Cindy or Sydney?
Sydney.
Brittany and Sydney. And then also Tanya. Well, I mean Tanya Johnson, but also Tanya from our front line, our sideline friend Tanya. So that was super cool. So let's talk about that. I'm actually going to hand you the microphone. Introduce yourself, your name, where you're calling in from. And then why don't you just give like a recap of what we're doing, why, where, when, and maybe a couple takeaways or something. Then I'll do the same. Like maybe we spend 2 minutes on this and then talk about the future.
Okay, so as Chaz said, I am Anna Martina.
Yeah, she is.
And I am host of the Flossom Way podcast, which will be coming back to the podcast station near you. I've been a little MIA, having to take care of some things, getting life situated so that we can do exactly what is titled for the show, which is moving on. And so we had an amazing weekend. It felt like a weekend, but it started Wednesday night. We met in Dallas, had amazing trainings for 2 days in person for the $1 Million Mastermind course that we attended. And honestly, like, there were so many different things. I didn't know what to expect. It was the first mastermind that either one of us had been to. And so we both walked into it not really knowing what to expect, knowing that it was going to be something different and it was going to stretch our minds in a way that we haven't experienced yet. And for those of you that know, Chaz and I are in a network marketing business, and so we do a lot of personal development with our network marketing company and our business and trainings and whatnot. But this was the first time that we went to a seminar that was focused on just growing wealth and stability long term in a financial sense, not associated with network marketing. And so we learned a lot about marketing, about investing, about real estate, about mental health, about just really the personal development, getting your head and your heart right, and getting out and doing the work. We learned a little bit about investing in things such as Bitcoin and...
Speaking of which, I just want to make a quick announcement.
Shameless
Hang on.
plug.
Just make sure this thing's on. I am now an owner in Tesla, Netflix, and what's the other company I bought? Tesla, Netflix. Tesla, Netflix. No. Zoom. So just know I'm the proud owner.
He's made 96 cents.
98 cents. It was 98 cents so far. So
I made more than that at WinStar today.
You did. Girl, carry on. So it was fun.
So we had a great time, and we got to spend some time together putting some vision down. Do you want me to talk about the other big thing, or do you want me to wait on that one?
The moving forward part?
Yes.
No, let me recap this part also, and then we'll move on.
Okay. Also, going in, I didn't know anyone that was going to be speaking except for Jessie Lee. And Chaz was like fangirling over all of these people. He knew who they all were, and I felt so like...
Sexy?
Okay, thank you. I'll receive that. I just felt like out of the loop. I didn't know the gravity of clout that these people had, but they were all so down to earth, so real, and just knowledgeable. Every single one we took massive knowledge and experience from, and a lot of gratitude. So I'm gonna let you talk about all your fan boy stuff.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, it was a $1 million mastermind, and no clue what to expect. We spent some money. We invested in ourselves for sure to be a part of that, between hotels and meals and travel, and then with, of course, event tickets to the event. We both bought tickets to it. If you hear that noise, it's a train. I just always like to make sure everybody knows that that's what that sound is coming by. Do you hear it? A tornado siren? I live in Oklahoma. Those things happen. You'll know soon enough, buddy. And actually, just so you know, tornadoes, they have a very much a train rumble before they hit. They do. Similar to that, but not the horn. I don't think they sound like a train horn. So $1 Million Mastermind, it was super cool. No expectations, had no clue what to expect. We knew we would obviously see Jesse Lee, who is our upline in our network marketing company, who's speaks publicly all over the world. Incredible, top 10 podcast, amazing. And then I knew the names of several speakers, Sean Whalen. There were some NFL guys there. Several people that I knew the name of, Billie Jean, several people, but I didn't know all of them. So what I just want to say is there was a lot of value, like Anna said, and we learned about investing, we learned about real estate, we learned about, about trading, we learned about stocks, just some really awesome things. I love that it was all over the board. I love that it was all business-minded. I love that it was not all network marketing, It was actually very, very little network marketing. In fact, I would say probably Jesse Lee's section, she was the only one that spoke network marketing, and she really didn't even speak network marketing. She spoke team building, and it just happened to be in the context because her biggest multi-million-dollar company is network marketing. But what I want to tell you guys, and then we can wrap up and move forward into some other really fun stuff that to share with you. But what I want to tell you is that the event started with a pastor named Keith Craft from Elevate Life Church in Frisco, Texas. I knew nothing about him. I did not know he was a pastor, to be honest. On the event poster and on the promotional materials, it simply said, featuring Keith Craft. I just thought he was a speaker. He actually is. He has his own mastermind. He's an incredible leadership speaker and guide. However, I didn't know anything about that, and I definitely didn't know he was a pastor until the day before the event because our friend Zandra actually goes to his church. And then I found out that the host of this event, Ryan Stewman, which shout out to him because awesome event that he put on, and then also some of the other speakers at the event also attend the church. So that's kind of how we learned a little bit about that. But what I want to say is that although this was a very secular event, there was cussing, there was real life stuff, there was really heavy testimony. The event started with Keith Craft, who was Keith Craft. He is a pastor, but it wasn't billed just as a pastor. It was a leadership section, but he got to speak about Jesus. And then it closed on Sunday, so day 2 closed with a guy who, now I'm drawing a blank on his name. Steve Weatherford, Super Bowl champion from 2012. He was a punter for several teams, but I think I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure he won a Super Bowl with the New York Giants, I think. But I know he was drafted to originally the New Orleans Saints. But that's just all he shared. But crazy, heavy testimony, and so open about his faith, and even invited people to accept Jesus. And I thought for such a secular event, it was really, really heavy and really powerful to know that it bookended with Jesus. And I thought that was really cool. It was just an extra piece of confirmation that it's where we needed to be for that weekend, or for that couple of days. I keep saying weekend. It was Thursday and Friday, but and so then we got to have dinner with a girl on our team that's one of our very, very best friends, Tanya Johnson, last night. Then today we had lunch with Jackie Robertson, who's also a very close friend, and got to visit with her family a little bit. So it was it was good networking, but it was also really good fellowship over the weekend. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. Do you want me to take this? Or are you? Oh, okay. Yes.
It's a yes, no, just yes.
I said yes, and you rudely again turned the microphone away.
So normally I have a microphone that's on like a boom mic, and I'm typically by myself, but hogging the microphone. But since Anna's here, I was like, I'll hold the microphone and we'll switch off. Eventually, we'll have multiple microphones. Especially, this is a good segue. Dang, you're good, Chaz. Oh, sorry, I was talking about me. So we have shared so many things with you guys. Like, just if you don't know who we are, our relationship started really about a year ago. We met through, I'll just real quick Cliff Notes version. We met through a singing website, Quarantine Karaoke, on Facebook. It's a Facebook group. A friend of mine added me to it. I'd never heard of it. I watched for a couple of weeks. I decided to sing on it. First time I sang, Anna happened to see me. The first time I actually watched and scrolled through, I saw Anna sing. She was in Minnesota. I was in Arkansas. I was in a very broken space. She was in a very making her way through life space. And so I feel like we absolutely were meant to know each other. Who knew that fast forward it would end up becoming a relationship? It actually started as a business relationship, a friendship. Our mutual love was music for sure. And then it has turned into and blossomed into literally the most amazing relationship I've ever had in my life. And Completely give God all the credit on that, for sure. And so we've been all over the map. She was in Minnesota. She moved to North Dakota. I was in Little Rock. I'm from Pauls Valley, Oklahoma, or Moore, Oklahoma. And I go to spend 6 months in Arkansas. Then I go to go to North Dakota and spend 3 months with Anna and her family. We come back to Oklahoma. Anna moves to Little Rock because I'm like, I want to live in Little Rock, and she knew there was a lot of like value there, and there was some business opportunity there, and so she moves there. And honestly, I bet even like just a few months ago, we were like, yeah, by the end of the year, first part of January, like I'm gonna be living in Little Rock. Not sure what that looks like, but and then we spent some time together in. Anna came and visited for like 2 or 3 days, and we spent the weekend together. No kiddos, just us, in Oklahoma City area. Back a couple months ago.
Yeah, I would say about 2 months ago.
So Moore is home for me. I moved from California in 1999. I've lived in Moore since 2001. My son took his first steps in Moore. I bought my first home in Moore. I got my first adult dirt bikes in Moore. A lot of my life was in Moore. Survived my first tornado. Braxton started preschool in tornado, and Moore. So Moore is home to me. And if you don't know, Moore is just literally the edge of Oklahoma City, just south. It's Tornado Alley. So most people, even we were in Texas this weekend, somebody said, "Yeah, I only know of Moore because of the tornadoes." And it's between Norman, which is where the University of Oklahoma is, and Oklahoma City. It's just a suburb. Awesome town, awesome police, home of Toby Keith, awesome law enforcement, awesome community. It's just a really good place. But we spent the weekend. We actually stayed at a hotel in Moore the whole weekend. And we were out and about, ran around, did things, went to dinner, traveled around, toured around the metro area. And when the weekend was over and Anna went back home to Little Rock, and I came back to my mom's in Pauls Valley, and over the next few days of every conversation we had, we just kept talking about how great that weekend was. And it hit me, and just short story, in 2016, I came down to Pauls Valley from Moore, Braxton and I both, to be with my mom. And that's where I started Nutrition Clubs when I was still doing another network marketing business. And so it was good to me. It was the season I needed to be in, but home was more. And when Anna and I started talking about why was the weekend so good, there were a lot of great things that happened. There was tons of like deeper connections and a lot of affirmation. Like a lot of things really were affirmed. Am I using the right word? And but one.
I would just say that what happened that weekend is that every single layer or level of a relationship was grown so much deeper. And we hadn't had time, just the two of us, in many months, and so we were able to just kind of reconnect and focus on our relationship and the different levels and the possibilities and talk about the future and what's that going to look like.
Yeah, for sure. And then the other piece of that was I just said to her on the phone, I said, I think the deal is that Moore is home for me. And I hadn't processed some things. I sold my home that I lived in. I got a divorce and Moore. Like I don't have any bad feelings towards Moore ever. Never have. But what I hadn't done is process some emotions, selling a home because I couldn't afford it, and then the feeling of let down, and moving in with a buddy for a few months, and then just like little things that were maybe you could call them little traumas, but really things that took away some confidence over the years, and that's just been over the last 8 or 9 years, 7, 8 years, whatever. And so what I realized is like Moore is home, and so I said to Anna, like, Moore is home, and we just shifted our thoughts on what the future looked like together. We knew there was a future together. There's never been any doubt. And even though we were already moving into, obviously, 2021, I hadn't moved to Little Rock. It was really like life. Like we were just kind of praying about it and seeing where we were supposed to be. And it just was so clear to me that Moore is home. And as always, Anna was very open to receive that and to accept that. And we talked about it. We've both probably prayed through it a lot. And then what happened? Like, talk about the 5,000 text messages you sent me of houses.
Okay. Oh, I get to hold the mic now. This is weird. Your arm must have fell asleep. So for me, I had a blast in Oklahoma, and I am in a position where I literally work from home 100% in both my therapy business and in the business that we do together. I don't have any children. I don't have any family in the area. I literally have my apartment, and that is it. That is my only tie to Arkansas at this point. And I love the feel of my apartment in that it feels like a resort, and there are many awesome amenities there. But the truth is, like, I hardly use the amenities, and I haven't, like, really established a life there yet, you know? Like, I've made some amazing friends and great people, and I've been really blessed in my time there. But it's not home without Chaz and Braxton. And so it was, and the weird part is, like, we lived together before we were in a serious relationship. And so it's like we went backwards, right? We lived together and then we started dating instead of dating and then living together. So we know we wanted to be together. And so when the decision was made, like, okay, why don't I move to Oklahoma then? Then it was just a lot of prayers and a lot of searches and a lot of, you know, how can we make this work? And what about this house? And what about this house? And what do you like about this house? And let's try and stay under this amount. And what do we want to do? And the ironic part is that every time we saw a house that we loved, it would get snatched up before we could get it. And then a better one would come along, and then that would get snatched, and then a better one would come along, and then that would get snatched. And we had found a house that we were, like, sold on. Like, the boys had driven by it, looked at everything on the outside. We had pictures of the inside. There was even a picture of the master bedroom that had the letters A and C framed, like Anna and Chaz. Like, it was like, oh my gosh, this house must be meant to be. But we were having issues with getting the rental company to follow up and follow through with information. And there was something in me that just said, just check again. See what else. See if anything new came on the market. And I pulled it up and I went, oh my gosh. I have to show Chaz this. This is incredible. This is what the boys have been talking about forever. 3 to 5 acres out in the country. And so I sent him the website, and it was only like $200 difference from the house that we were looking at, but had so much more potential. So I wasn't sure if he would go for it because it was different than what we had talked about financially, even though it's still within totally what is within our realm. We just were thinking a little bit smaller, but when you see it, when you know, it's totally worth it. So I don't know how much you want me to talk about that.
Well, I'll share a little bit. Yes. No, so what was crazy is, so Anna sends me this message, and I kid you not, you guys, and this happens all the time. I opened my text, sent her a link to a house that was doable. It was doable. It was in Moore. It was in a good neighborhood. It was close to some amenities. I had a connection. A friend of mine manages the property. All the inns were there, totally like within the price range, lower than really what we had budgeted. And it was okay. It was doable. It was the square footage. Everything would have worked, which is why I sent it to her. And again, we were just not really like feeling super comfortable with the property management from the one house that we really felt like was the house where she was talking about, like, the A and C in the bedroom. And so I send a link to her, and I kid you not, I send a link and said, check this out. And I sent it and looked back at my text, and she sent first, which, I mean, it was within seconds, so it was in the same time frame, literal. And there was one from her, and she's like, look at this house. And I clicked on the link, and I honestly, I told my mom this. I thought you were joking, because she has sent a few houses. Like, Anna doesn't know Oklahoma. No offense, but she doesn't know Oklahoma yet. So we're looking, like, I specifically want to be North Norman, Moore, South OKC, in, like, the good, you know, like, south of 89th, you know. And so she has sent some houses, like, this one's beautiful, and it's Piedmont. She doesn't know where Piedmont is. I'm like, I'm not living in Piedmont, you know. Or Edmond, a lot of in Edmond. And so there was a few houses that, and then she had a great sense of humor, so occasionally she'd send one that was like $6,000 a month, 8,000 square feet, 16 bedrooms. And I'm like, this girl should be smoking crack again. And so it was like, haha. Well, and I don't think I told you this, but I told my mom when I opened that link, and I had just sent the link to an okay home that would have worked. And the first picture when I click the link is the front of the house, and it's like the lights are on, the accent lights are on around, and the color scheme of the home, and the shrubbery around the front, and I was like, she's messing with me again, because it was so wonderful, And I open it up and start looking at all the things. I didn't even read the description, you guys. I didn't even read the description. I was like, okay, I saw the acreage.
Well, and you were focused on getting me to look at the house that you sent me.
For sure.
And I had to push you to no, just look at it. Just look at it.
Yeah, for sure. I actually continued to talk about the one that I had sent her before I dove into the other. And then she's like, well, did you look at all the details? I was like, no, I didn't even go through the pictures. Because honestly, I really thought she was kind of being funny. And then I started looking at the price. Then I saw the square footage. Then I saw what it came with. Then I read the long description, and I was like, wow, there are so many things that make sense. And then they kept making more sense. By the end of that day, she had a conversation with the property manager. More things made sense. More things were attractive about it. Price range was attractive. Amenities were attractive. And so the time frame was good. Yeah. Had a great conversation with the homeowner. So where we are now is we are going tomorrow. Can I tell this?
Of course.
Okay. So we're going tomorrow at 5 o'clock, which is Monday. So you guys are hearing this. I don't know when you're going to hear this, but these come out on Monday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So whenever you hear this, but I'm just telling you, Monday at 5 p.m., we are going to look at the house. Braxton gets to go with us. We've been kind of keeping it under wraps. We've told him a few details. Tonight, we kind of let the cat out of the bag. But it has been hard because there's so many things that he will fall in love with. We wanted to be a little bit cautious to not get him overly excited. But we've had enough conversations with the property manager, with the landlord, the homeowner, and enough time in prayer. I really believe this is where we're going to end up. The only exception to that would be when we get feet on the ground tomorrow, if it just for some reason doesn't feel right. I've been in constant prayer about it. Everything has made sense to me. Even in my time of prayer I've remained confident through that. So I feel good. You feel good?
Yes.
So we'll get feet on the ground tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Braxton will go with us. We'll walk the property. We'll walk the house.
Right.
And continue to pray, probably pray over it, and go from there. So odds are pretty good that in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, you guys will be some of the first to know. You guys are our best friends. And you'll know at that point. Most likely, if we...
let my apartment complex
first, sure. But what I'm saying is, by tomorrow we should know if we're pulling the trigger on it, if we're moving forward. Because the only stipulation would be if we choose that it's not a good fit. But we feel really great about it.
Yeah, I think it's just we're 99.99999% sure. But once we get there, one thing is they have a couple cats, right? And I'm super allergic to cats, and the cats are outdoor cats, and so we want to keep them for the field mice and snakes and things like that. But at the same time, I don't want cats jumping up on me when I'm outside and that kind of a thing. So just kind of feeling those things out, feeling the space out, and really just kind of envisioning what our stuff will look like in that house and creating a home together is going to be super exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And it's a 3-year term. I should say that. So we our plan is to be somewhere in a rental property for literally, that's the number we've said, 3 years. And then we'll look at buying or building. Not sure where yet, but we've talked over and over about 3 years. That'll put Braxton finishing school. That'll give us 3 years to, really, really propel our business and network marketing. It's just that's the magic number. And then we find out that the property owner is has other arrangements for literally 3 years, and that's when he wants to move back into his home. It's their dream home, which explains why it's such a beautiful property. But they've got orders to go somewhere else for 3 years. So when they come back, we will have taken care of their home, and we will have been blessed with a beautiful property and beautiful home, and it'll be time to make the next step for there. So it just feels really, really right. And we wanted to share that with you guys. And so that's really what we wanted to talk about. We wanted to recap the weekend, tell you kind of what's gone on with that. I'm excited to move forward and really stretching business-wise in several different areas, opening new streams. There's some other areas that I'm going to grow into over this next 6 months or so as far as business, additional streams of income and additional areas of growth and learning new things, really. And so that's where we're at. So yeah, we're excited. We'll share more as we can over the next few days. And I'm sure by next week's podcast, I will really, truly fill you in on a decision, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Good night.
So that is it, my friends. We are excited. We look forward to talking to you guys soon. Check us out on all of our social medias. I guess I should give Anna a plug because that's what you do. Every time you get the microphone on my podcast, you're like, check me out at the Anna Way.
Wait.
What?
When you interview people, don't you say, hey, why don't you tell my friends where they can find you? And then you plug them?
Yes.
So why would you not do the same for me?
Because you plug you first, always. You're like, by the way, I'm Anna, and here's where you can find me. We're live. I know. But we're live every time we're live, and it's on my TikTok. She's like, hey.
By the way, if y'all have TikTok, I need you to go add me on TikTok. The Flawsome Way, TheFlawsomeWeigh. You can find me on the Instagram and TikTok. Also, find me on Facebook. And my podcast is coming back real soon. Maybe I'll have a special guest.
Who's that?
Somebody other than Jazz. Just kidding.
Braxton. All right, you guys, again, episode number 18, Rap City. It's done. Moving on is the title of this one. Make sure you screenshot this. I'm so sexy. You're so sexy.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. And we will talk to you soon for sure. Screenshot, tag us, me, whatever, whoever you want to tag. And we'll send out some cash money to one lucky winner.
Tag me, Anna, the Flawsome Way, and I will send you Chaz's money.
Perfect. That's a great idea. You guys have an awesome week. God bless you. God loves you. And you are rock stars, and you're worthy of great, great, great things. Any final parting words? You got 2 seconds.
May you be safe. May you be happy and content. May you be strong and healthy.
That was 4 seconds. That's it.
May you be at ease.
Perfect. Bye, you guys. Have a good week. See ya.
Bye.